I can't even tell you how many times I have found myself saying to Dan at the end of the day that I wish there were just more hours in the day, and that I feel like I'm constantly falling behind. A to-do list that I will make for the day often ends up turning into the to-do list for the week. And if I'm being really honest, I have actually found myself wondering many times if I even have what it takes, like just for life in general, if I'm capable enough or even smart enough to be able to do a good job at just being a mom, a wife, a daughter, a friend, and it feels like I can't get it all done. But I have been bringing this area of my life to the Lord a lot lately, and while I am still in the trenches, I feel like He has been changing a lot in me and my heart and my day-to-day rhythms. So right off the top, I want to say that I think the reason why moms always feel behind is because it is a full-time job, a legit full-time job, and we expect it not to be, or we think of it still in our hearts and our minds as something that should be easy or effortless or just not take that much time. And I think it is actually the opposite. Running a home, keeping the home economy going forward is a repetitive day in, day out job. And I think that accepting the fact that the laundry is never going to end, accepting and embracing the fact that everybody has to eat 3 times a day or whatever your eating schedule is, everybody has to eat over and over, and accepting that, knowing that that's just the way it is, and embracing it and romanticizing it, I think is a really important component of managing the overwhelm, like changing your expectations. By the way, I dropped in here casually a little mini Trader Joe's haul. Dan went out to the grocery store, picked that up while I was working on stuff at the house. Also, a little pro tip, just kind of while we're in this discussion of overwhelm, keep yourself fed. I think that moms, not only do we do a lot, right? The repetitive cycle of everything, it just happens every single day. We're eating, we're doing laundry, we're changing diapers, we're guiding our kids and teaching them, but we have to be fed. And not only do we have to be fed, but I also think that a lot of us, besides just being undernourished and underfed, we are not eating enough protein. And so, side note that's not a side note, I guess, just shout out at the top of the video, I love this Equip protein powder. It's like the only protein powder that doesn't make my tummy feel gross or bloated. I don't get any sharp pains. I guess that's gas, whatever. It doesn't happen with this stuff. So it's really awesome. I have a discount code. I will link it down below if you want to check it out. But I think protein and eating in general is just really important, and just light snacking off your kid's plate doesn't count. And I think it can add to that feeling of overwhelm, because if we're not nourished, we don't necessarily have the energy to get it all done. Now, I know you're watching this video, so this might be a temptation for you, but I think another thing that can add to that feeling of overwhelm and not being able to get it all done is comparison to others. Now, this is a really fine line because, comparison sometimes can evoke, just follow me, can evoke a feeling of jealousy, and jealousy is not great, obviously, but at the same time, sometimes that jealousy can give you some direction in your life. It can show you areas that you want to improve upon, but sitting in that camp of jealousy, maybe obsessing over someone else's strengths and our weaknesses, can really take our energy down. And in taking our energy down, it can actually dampen our effectiveness because we're so focused on what's wrong with us, quote unquote, the things that we do wrong that other women do right. And I get this. I feel often like I struggle with the feeling of just being a fraud, the feeling of wondering if my kids would be better off with other parents, which is absolutely ridiculous. But I think everyone measures their mothering to someone else's or has struggled with doing that at some point. So for me, I will look at other moms who are creating these magical, crafty moments, and I'll feel like I'm not creating enough magical, crafty moments. By the way, on this day, I threw I think it's called a chuck roast into my crock pot because I wanted to make Barbacoa Tacos that night. So I set that up at the start of the day, and then I had thawed some chicken that I wanted to cook up, and I was going to take part of that chicken, you'll see in the video, and turn it into a salad, like with cucumbers and onions and Caesar dressing. It's really good. Now, here's the thing about cooking. You guys know I love to cook. Just like we talked about, everybody has to eat multiple times a day. And some days I'm choosing easier meals. Sometimes I'm choosing pre-prepared meals or picking food up, though that is very rare. But a lot of the times I am trying to think about what actually sounds good. Like, I am not someone who just eats to fuel. I do eat for enjoyment. I think it's a very high point in life, like just taste buds and eating for enjoyment. I also eat for fuel and for health, but they're honestly like hand in hand. I think that they both go together and that they're both equally important for my personality. So I decide to embrace cooking rather than be annoyed at it. Of course, I do struggle with moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, again, it's time to eat and cook and make a decision again. But in general, when I feel that way, it's best for me to go one of two ways. Either pick something really easy and just get the fuel in, or pivot and get off of that bad attitude and focus instead on what could be enjoyable to eat, what could be exciting to eat, what my family could like to eat, and allowing that to bring joy and pizzazz to my life as a homemaker. You know, another reason I think that sometimes it can feel like we're always behind and we can really get down on ourselves is because we can trick ourselves into thinking that whatever is going on now is going to be that way forever. Now, this is a particularly me problem. Like, I struggle with this in just about every area of my life. Like, the Lord knows this has been a battle for me to think that whatever is going on is going to be that way forever, particularly if it's something that I am seeing as hard, negative, a struggle, just difficult. I emotionally, it's not even necessarily logical, but I emotionally feel like it's going to be that way forever. And the bottom line is, it isn't. Everything, every single blessing, every single struggle, it's all passing through and it won't be there forever. You know, I just a few minutes ago was sobbing at an Instagram post. You guys have probably seen these. And it's someone kind of using their imagination that they're 80 years old, but tonight they went to sleep and tomorrow they woke up and they were 38 again. And they were reflecting on all of the things that they took for granted when they were 38, but at 80 years old, getting to wake up and call their mom again, see their sweet babies and their sweet babies' giggles, and watch them make a mess with the snacks in the back of the car that, you know, the crumbs fall all over the ground. All these things that frustrated them in the moment, that once they were past them, and pretty much everyone says that you pass through this time quicker than you realize, that once they were past them, they realized, I just said the word realized like 5 times, but they realized that it was fleeting, it was short term. And I think sometimes it's easy to get into that negative headspace where you feel like, I can't get it all done, I'll never get this right, this is never going to end, because you logically know it won't, but you feel like it's never going to end. So this is an area where I think it requires us to take our thoughts captive, just like the Bible says, and to remind ourselves that today is a gift, tomorrow is not guaranteed. Every day I pray for the Lord to help me see my family and see all of my blessings as the gifts that they are, and to not take any of it for granted. Also, I will link this barbacoa taco recipe in the info box. My friend gave it to me and we love it. And I love kind of half frying my taco shells, melting the cheese on top, putting the meat there, cilantro, onions. It's so good. Also, we go lighter on the spice in this recipe because that's pretty much the only way that Logan will eat this meat, is if it's less spicy. So here's the other reason I think sometimes it can feel like we're never getting enough done, like it never is going to end. And that is because sometimes we in fact are not hustling enough and we are not being disciplined enough. Now this is hard, right? I think all of this is kind of a balance where you don't want to tip into the side of beating yourself up and feeling like I said in the beginning, like you can't handle life, you're too weak. But also there is kind of this idea or this element where you can like give yourself, quote, too much grace, if you get what I mean, where we can allow ourselves to be a little too lazy. And the thing is, just like muscle development, right? I believe that we are meant to be developing our muscles, continuing to grow them stronger so that we can live a vibrant life as we age, God willing. I think that we are supposed to be doing that in all areas of our life. I think we are supposed to be getting better. And sometimes that can feel exhausting. And I do think that is why it is also really important for a go-getter mentality to also hold hands with the knowledge that God is sovereign and He has our life in the palm of His hands. He's got it planned and He is working all things together for good. So there is kind of like we're walking, I don't want to say like a tightrope or a line, But I just know that sometimes we can feel like we're drowning because we are in fact not being disciplined enough and we are not hustling enough. So here's the thing. I operate most of my day currently at this point in my life on timers. Not all the time, but a large chunk of my day. And that's for a few reasons. A, just to make sure that I'm kind of keeping that fire under my butt. There's this quote, I think it's Tony Robbins says it, that like, if you want to feel excited, then act excited. Like do something that physically an excited person would do, like if they were excited to do that task. And for me, with a lot of the homemaking tasks, cooking, more particularly cleaning, it helps me to set a timer because it really lights a fire under my butt to move and go. And it always reminds me and surprises me how much I can get done in a short period of time. Now, here's the thing. I'm doing it obviously here when I'm cleaning. Well, maybe that's not obvious, but I am doing it here when I'm cleaning. But I don't just do it when I'm cleaning. Like I mentioned, I do timers throughout my whole day so that I am not unconscious of the time passing on the clock, so that I don't accidentally, start doing something and then, oh my gosh, oops, it's been, an hour, which an hour may not seem like that long, but when you're ending your day wishing that there were more hours in the day, an hour is kind of a long time. You can get a lot done in an hour. Honestly, you can get a lot done in like 5 minutes, depending on what you're working on. I think setting timers is just so helpful. Now, I've actually heard that this is like an ADHD tip, which lately I've kind of been joking to Dan. I'm like, I don't know, man, I might have ADHD. I'm actually not kidding. My dad has some form of this going on in his life. He also lives by timers, and it really helps me with so much distraction happening throughout my day, especially now with 2 children. I can't really just rely on like, what do I think I need to do now? Like, what should I do next? Nope. I have to keep an actively evolving checklist that I stick by. Now, I am planning on doing a morning routine video soon because I literally feel like it's a morning routine that like God helped shape and inspire and like changed my life. I used to be all about the morning routine years ago, and I kind of let that go because I've been in just a different season of my life. And in the last like 6 months, God really convicted me that I needed to develop a morning routine. I needed to start my day off intentionally, and that it would essentially help launch me into not only a better day, but it starts the day in a way that you've already checked off a bunch of things. So one of the sayings I have about my morning routine is I follow the list, not my emotions. And in general, that's also kind of a good thing throughout my day. Now, there is some flexibility because having kids, you guys know, just requires flexibility to a degree, but also having kids requires structure to a degree. And that's something that, like I said, I'm still working on, but the Lord is changing my heart. I mean, the thing is, I feel like in summary, that's why we're going to put it, motherhood is never ending. Homemaking never ends. It is a constant full-time job. And part of making sure that you don't fall into a sad or anxious type of ditch is accepting that you literally will never get it all done. You may have some peak days where you feel like you're on a mountaintop and you like roared through that checklist, but because our days involve other little people whose lives are changing every day, their development is changing every day, we have to accept that to some degree or another, we are always going to feel like the list never ends. And the thing is, when I've talked to older women, they all agree with me. They all say, yeah, I wish there were more hours in the day too. Yeah, I feel like I'm always behind too. Yeah, my to-do list for the day often turns into my to-do list for the week. But I think that being a homemaker and a mother was more highly elevated in the past. So I think women were more likely to know this because they were more plugged into communities. It was a more, like I said, highly esteemed role. And I think women knew that. So if you don't know this, if these are concepts you haven't thought about before, I just want to encourage you, like I'm encouraging myself, to kind of embrace the mess while also continuing to pray to be better, to get stronger, to become more organized, and to be able to look at women that we admire and to learn from them and grow from the things that we learned from them, but also to not downplay our own strengths, our own unique giftings, and the fact that God gave us our children because they are meant to be our children. We are meant to be their mothers. So just know, if you feel unseen, you are not unseen. God sees you where you're at. He put you where you are at, and He gave you the children you have because you are the perfect mom for them. So cheers to inspiring each other, continuing to grow together, but not sinking into a pit of jealousy and comparison, self-doubt, or self-deprecation, unless it's in a humorous way. We can do some humorous self-deprecation, but you got my gist. So that is it for this video, guys. I will, God willing, see you back here soon with another one, and I hope that you have a blessed day. Bye, guys.